So that felt familiar. Look good, threaten, let them off the hook, punished. Hello again, I'm Neil Allison. This is my notebook. That'll make sense if you watch the trailer to this. There might be a glimmer of recognition of my voice from the Neil Lamptey Show podcast or the award-winning Coventry City blogger / writer from Sky Blue's blog. So what am I doing here? Writing is hard and hurts my fingers, so I thought I'd give talking on the internet a go because, well, we all know how kind and loving the YouTube comments can be. This is my virtual notebook, so a handful of COV things that are on my mind this week. No specific order, no real importance, and definitely not everything. First up, obviously we all saw the Forest game, and that defeat pretty much whips any idea of the playoffs out of us. Sad face. I mean, it was already a long shot, and plenty of people didn't seem too fussed about making it this season, so we're now left with 6 games where motivation and intensity to win could be an issue. Objectively, we played alright last night, but that's pretty much been the story of our season. You've got Forest fans who are watching their team dominate everyone they encounter at the moment saying, we look decent. I mean, cheers. We've heard that before, and it usually comes after we've lost. We all know the issues. It was a tough game last night against a strong opponent, and we looked a threat and looked to keep them honest. And yet they didn't necessarily have to earn the win, as we let them off it becoming any other sort of game. As a team, we can look relatively fluid, and that transition from defence to midfield when we win the ball is often pretty impressive. It's the accuracy and this fluidity as we get closer to the important stuff. That wasn't what it quite needed to be. It was the wrong pass, or the rush pass, or the totally misplaced pass, or the going through the motion shot where the biggest effort is simply getting it on target, which is all a shame because we end up mostly having to rely on the law of averages to get the goals that we need. Gyökeres is a tank, we know that, but he's this sporadic tank. And this amateur football fan's opinion is if he gets to the point where he can regain a bit more control over the ball and cleanliness of shot, there'll be loads more for him. The man creates an obscene amount of chances. He's up there with the most threatening strikers in the division, but his goal conversion is low and his shot conversion is low. So what that means is either low quality chances or low quality finishing, or the keepers are just having brilliant games against him. I recognise it's mad bringing this up given how many he scored this season, but we don't have to hide from the opportunity. He'll know he should have scored 20 by now as well. We just have to save it for next season, right? O'Hare's different. He can work on his shooting, but that'll never likely be his strongest suit. If he can just relax a little more in those key areas, find a little more care with his passing, he'd be the absolute difference rather than the potential difference that he is right now. These players are the ones who create the most and cause the most havoc, but they also waste the most. And that's the tricky one to balance, you know, the innate football fan fury of watching your team misplace or misexecute so often means you start to think you're in a false position because you're so wasteful. But you also have to realise you just wouldn't be the same without them anyway. Threat is important, and the fact that we have so much of it, even the illusion of threat, probably one of the real reasons why we've only really been tentatively knocking on the playoff door all season. We seem to be good at eventually finding a way most of the time. We just haven't done it early enough in games, and then we get caught and the dynamic changes. Last night was that. Oh, and Forest are better than most with really good and strong and fast players. Obviously that helps them. Late goals show resolve and tenacity and resilience. Love it. The fact that we've done it so many times this season feels like a bit of a freak, but maybe there is something in it. Maybe there's something inherent in us and our spirit. It'd be quite nice to think that this intangible Robin's time thing has been created. Tony would not agree. I get people have their biases and their own perspectives, and especially the opposition manager. We've had it twice recently where teams are so ludicrously time wasting during stoppage time, then can't fathom why the ref adds them more. You did that to yourself, you idiot. They were playing well enough to play the game out in a totally different style, yet they chose to get cramped 3 times and keep falling on the floor and not getting up. I know refs don't often take too much notice, but if you sit down for a minute, a vaguely competent ref is going to do something about it. What are you on about, Tone? You need to find a better way, mate, because you're making a pig's ear of it. People on the pitch.
No, get off it.
Mark's a really angry man, and I agree. What are these people playing at? The fact that it's even become a thing is just plain weird. Look, there's definitely a line between taking football seriously and realising it's just a game. Get it? For me, that line is, we're all spending money on this thing. Watching us do well feels so much better than not. So caring when we're losing and there being a feeling that losing is not good, that's kind of important. I feel like you have to create a standard whereby it seems to people that you care. So running on the pitch and way too many people laughing and joking, preferring that madness over the more important thing of trying to get a fucking goal, it just makes us look small. I've written previously about my issues with small club mindset, and we've been lucky recently because we've had a really good few years, so things have been good and the hard times not really there, so you don't need to be moody. But I'm really with my rums on this and Her Majesty's Police Force. Keep off the bloody pitch. Fucking, it's just embarrassing. It makes us look like we're just there for a bit of a laugh and don't really mind losing, when really I reckon plenty of us care more about the business that we're trying to deal with on the pitch, not some strange, simple man running around, no place in particular. I gotta be honest, I'm not sure how rigorous the enforcement is on keeping these people out in future, but if they need any suggestions, Homer Simpson did a great job of it with Bart. Maybe start there. And finally, how do we deal with these final games? For me, again, to protect my own enjoyment, I've got a season ticket, so I kind of want to enjoy the whole thing. There's a school of thought about trying the kids the moment we give up on achieving anything or can't achieve anything. Some people wanted this back in January. That can make sense in certain in-game circumstances. But if we're talking about meaningful action now that'll help the club for next season, honestly, some wins and finishing strongly feels far bigger. Not just because points and positions mean cold hard cash right in Mark's pocket for next year, but it will set a tone. It sends us into the summer happier, and it'll help us and the players. They need to remain confident and retain that feeling of superiority that they've shown in a lot of the games this year. They need to remember this season the right way. And I'm not saying it's just as easy as trying. We got some really tough games. We spent half the season in the top 6 and have competed really well. So limping to a bottom half finish through lack of intensity or intention about what we're doing, it would just feel pretty lame and disappointing. I know there's also a thought process around you'd have taken this at the beginning of the year. I think you know where I'm going with this. I like to judge things on their individual merits, and in a season where we surpassed some people's expectations, it could be that the expectations were wrong and somehow we're actually better than just avoiding relegation. Maybe we've got players that are better than that. And I know it's tough and I know it's moody, but 6 games left, let's shake off the limpness and see this out correctly. If we finish with 60 plus points, and top half is surely the minimum, we should go away feeling pretty decent that even though the results were sluggish when we needed a bit more from the team, we've put in a decent show in a group of 24 teams, most of whom will have way more money. That, for me, is a better way of how you wrap up a season, not the Tony Mowbray way. Okay, that's all I've got right now. I would put some other videos above, but I don't have any, and I'm new here. Please give me a like, that's important, and subscribe, that's also critical. I'll take it as a personal attack if you don't. If you're also looking for decent COF content, check out skyboozblog.co.uk, where I do a bit of the old writing. You've got Neil Lamptey Show podcast, or you've got Sideways Sammy, that's Dom Jerums. He's the main man for your pre and post match analysis. I'll whack some links in the description for you. Somewhat hilariously, I've also started to create some pretty wonderful Coventry City tat that you can buy. So it's just a couple of designs at the moment as I'm learning the whole tat genre. But if you fancy a nice mug or t-shirt that'll make you look very, very cool, I'll put some links in the description to those as well, and maybe some pictures up in the corner. Hope you enjoyed this latest episode of my notebook, and you have a pleasant day. See you later.